Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to look at elimination method. So out of all the system of equations, you've done graphing, substitution, and now this will be elimination. Really, you do need to know how to do all three. However, when it comes to choosing a method and solving, you can choose any of these three that you like. I know some people prefer substitution. A lot of people like to graph. Graphing is okay, but if you ever end up with like a decimal point, it's going to be kind of hard to see it on a graph. So I would stick to substitution or elimination. Preferably elimination is what I love because it makes more sense to me. So substitution may make more sense to you, and that's great. Stick to what you like. But go ahead and take the notes for today, and today you're using elimination. Because if you should have an error analysis problem, you need to know the steps. Okay, so here we go, elimination method. First, let's write down your steps. So line up your equations. Make sure the x's are with the x's, y's are with the y's, constants with the constants. Choose which variable you want to eliminate. You can choose the x or y, it's your choice. Whichever one looks easier to you. You need to create a zero pair by using multiplication, and I will show you that step in a little bit. Add equations together and solve for the variable. Then go back and solve for your other variable. So substitution and elimination are pretty similar. You just have substitution has a couple more steps, and then that last step, solving for the other variable, is the same for both. So let's go ahead. Example 1, negative 4x minus 2y equals negative 12, and 4x plus 8y equals negative 24. So these, make sure everything is lined up. These are pretty lined up. The x is with the x, y is with the y, constant is with the constant. So we're good to go there. So now we're just gonna pull this. So choose variable to eliminate. Since I'm looking, I'm going to choose the x's because I've got a negative 4 and a positive 4, and that's what we want. We want a zero pair. So I'm going to pull this over, make it bigger so that you can see it better. Okay, so now all I'm doing is adding my two equations together. So adding them together. So I have negative 4 plus 4 is 0x, negative 2 plus 8 is 6y, and then negative 12 minus 24 or plus negative 24 is negative 36. So that's it. You just add them together. And so essentially what we have is we just take off the 0x. So we actually have 6y equals negative 36. So now we're just left with one step, which is to divide by 6 on both sides. And we have y equals negative 6. So elimination is pretty easy. Now you just solve for your other variable. So we know y is negative 6. This is typically where people get confused because they don't know, do I plug it into the first, second equation? Where do I plug it in? It really doesn't matter. Out of habit, I always choose the bottom equation because it's just a habit for me. You can choose the top equation. It's your choice. So 4x plus 8y equals 24 equals negative 24. I'm going to plug in for y with negative 6. And then I'm going to solve, so multiply 4x minus 48 equals negative 24, add 48 to both sides, and divide by 4, and I get x equals 6. So my solution is 6 comma negative 6. And that's it for that. Pause, write this down, I'll wait. Okay, next example, so we have negative 2x minus 9y equals negative 25. And then we've got negative 4x minus 9y equals negative 23. So we need to make sure everything is lined up, in which it is. So the x's are with the x's, y's are with the y's, constants are with the constants. If you're ever not sure how to line something up, remember to move across the equal sign, you just do the inverse. So you would literally just subtract or add the x or y to whichever side you need to add it to. And that's how you get them lined up. Okay, so we are gonna enlarge this. Okay, so now we need to choose the variable we want to eliminate, and then we'll make a zero pair. So you can get rid of the x's because that negative 2 fits really well into that negative 4. since 4 is a multiple of 2, it wouldn't be hard to manipulate that. But I see that I have -9 and -9, so that's even easier because I could literally multiply one of them by -1, get a +9, and I'm done. So we're going to multiply that top equation by -1. And when I say that top equation, I mean the whole equation by -1. So let's go ahead, distribute that -1. We're going to rewrite this. So we actually have 2x plus 9y equals 25 now. And then -4x minus 9y equals -23. So you're probably wondering where I got that -1 from. You pick any number to multiply that'll create a 0 pair. So that -9 and -9 to be a 0 pair, so to add up and equal 0, I would need +9 minus 9, which would give me 0. So I know to make -9 a +9, I multiply by -1. However, algebra's fair. If I do something here, I have to do it there. So I can't just do it to one number. I have to do it to the whole thing. So now I've got my 2 equations lined up, and now all I do is add them together. So 2 plus -4, -2x, 9 plus -9 is 0, 25 plus -23 is 2. And all I'm left with is -2x equals 2. So now I just divide by -2 on both sides, and I end up with x equals -1. And I'm done. Actually, I'm not done. I need to solve for that other variable. So I'm gonna plug in -1 for x, and again, I just choose the bottom equation because it's a habit. You can choose your new equation, the original 2 equations, it really doesn't matter. Whichever one you see that the numbers are a little easier to work with, choose that equation, okay? So plugging in for x, -1, I have 4 minus 9y equals -23. Minus the 4 to both sides, -9y equals -27. Divide by -9 on both sides, y equals 3. So my solution is -1, 3. So now you're probably wondering, what if I ended up with a number like I didn't have a 9 and 9, and I had like a 2 and a 5. So that 2 and 5 are gonna be, you would multiply both equations. You would multiply the equation with 2 by a 5 and the equation with 5 by a 2. So you can multiply both equations. You just have to know how to do that, okay? If you need any help, let me know and I will help you out. Okay, that's it. Bye, guys.
Bye.